Well, hey, and welcome into a Club Chad Mini. I'm your host, Chad, and today we're talking about Sonic Mania Plus. Yep, that's plus, as in the addition sign, from math. It's spelled out in the title, P-L-U-S. And, what the hell is Sonic Mania Plus anyway? Let's see. Oh, okay, so turns out it's DLC. So if you already have the original Sonic Mania, you can download the update, or you can buy a brand new physical copy of the game, which already has Plus content built into it. We got two brand new playable characters, Mighty and Ray, from the original Sonic arcade games. There's also a brand new single-player campaign in Encore Mode. And finally, we got 4-player split-screen competitive mode. We better ID these new pluses before we let them into Club Mania. Okay, that's a take. So, Mighty is the best character. No offense to the classic boys, but he's pretty much indestructible thanks to his hard shell exterior. Mighty's OP, and he needs to be nerfed into the ground, and here's why. Mighty's half-shell armor protects him from certain attacks when he's in a ball. It works both while he's jumping, spinning, or even during his ground slam. The OP part is just how many things this applies to. Spikes on the ground, small projectiles, enemies with spikes on them, even bosses. It's not automatic though. You do have to be in a ball for it to work, and it doesn't apply to everything. However, going into a ball is how you attack, move, jump around, so every character is in a ball most of the time. But Mighty is the only one protected from attacks while he does it. If we're gonna be fair though, the whole thing's balanced out by the fact that Mighty has no movement or flight ability. It turns Mighty into a combat specialist, really good at progressing through the game, but at a disadvantage when it comes to speed and exploration. He's perfect for a new player, and pretty much replaces Tails as the easiest character to use. Ray, on the other hand, might be the hardest character to use. He's a flying squirrel, and can glide like Knuckles. However, Ray can actually gain height while doing so, similar to Tails, but without a limit to how long he can fly. Also like a squirrel, Ray is a total spaz, and he sucks, and I hate him, but he's actually pretty good. The thing is, Ray needs space in order to fly, and he'll get hurt if he hits anything while doing so. But you can cancel out of the glide and go into a ball whenever you release the button. By timing this quick release, you can actually launch him as a ball at various angles, up or down. But all this is hard, and it pisses me off, and fuck you, Ray, stop smiling at me! Just Google Ray speedruns and you'll see what I'm talking about. He may be the hardest character to use, but he's a lot of fun and has a high ceiling of stuff you can do with him. Definitely not for beginners. Ray is for those seeking a challenge. And speaking of, there's the new single-player campaign, Encore Mode. As the name suggests, it's a more challenging take on the original levels. The player is introduced to Mighty and Ray during a short introduction on Angel Island, which gives them a reason for actually being in the game, aside from the fact that you paid for them. It also introduces the encore mechanics of switching between two characters, but without fully explaining why it's important. Use your words, Sonic! Oh yeah, 2D Sonic doesn't talk.
Watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah!
That's probably for the best anyway. The 5 Sonic Mania characters act as lives. That's the long and short of it. Only 2 out of the 5 can be on screen, with the rest waiting off screen. If a character dies, you lose said character, and one of the off-screen ones replaces it. You can collect more characters by finding power-ups in each level, or using the new pinball bonus stages unlocked at checkpoints. There's even power-ups that randomize both characters, which can be good or bad depending on which characters you actually want to use and which ones you are currently using. Encore Mode also features an alternate color palette. A reminder, this mode is only slightly different than the original one. Zones feature different power-ups in the same spots or different spots altogether. Enemy placement could also be slightly different or the same. UFO stages are totally different though, with alternate giant ring locations and 7 brand new stages. Damn, these are hard. I'm never gonna get the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Oh, never mind. I did. Anyway, the moral of the story is that the new mode doesn't change everything, but it changes enough to offer a fresh take on the game. My only real gripe with Encore Mode is that you can't play 2-player co-op the same way you could in Mania Mode. And since I went and brought up multiplayer, so now, up to 4 people can play competition mode using any of the 5 characters. Definitely a welcome change, and it's perfect for portable consoles like the Switch that emphasizes multiplayer games. But when I heard there was gonna be up to 4-person multiplayer, I assumed it was more than just competition mode. Wrong! Stupid imagination giving my hopes up. 4-person competition mode is great, but cooperative multiplayer Sonic has needed a rework ever since it was first implemented in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And 25 years later, we still got second players struggling to stay on screen. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoy co-op Sonic whether I'm on screen or not, but that's just how much of a sucker I am for this game. I grew up playing awful multiplayer and loving it, so my expectations are tempered. But by today's standards, it just doesn't hold up. And I don't even blame the players for their lack of patience. I blame Sega for not adapting. And to add insult to injury, you can't even use the awful co-op in Encore Mode, even though I got 2 players running around just like in Mania Mode. Alright, sorry, I know I'm talking in circles here. Sega, for the love of Sonic, rework co-op mode and make it up to 4-player. Balance the game based on how many people play, if you even care about that. Heck, do a boss rush mode, make it multiplayer. There's so much potential, just try something new. Okay, now that I got that off my chest, let's go back to the positives. Sonic Mania has really invigorated the fan base, and for good reason. We finally got a return to the classic Sonic format that both fans and critics can get behind. And I think it's fair to say that Sega really played it safe with the initial rollout of Mania and Mania Plus, as many do in both the movie and gaming industry when it comes to remakes or spiritual successors. They didn't change the formula any more than they had to, and only tried a few new things, but both editions of the game show how Sega was able to make an impact in the market and deliver on what fans have been asking for, especially the physical copy of the game with the collectible art book and reversible cover. For me, the 2 new characters are the biggest highlights, but everything else is not bad of an addition. Menu changes and using debug mode and save files probably weren't asked for, but they don't take anything away from the game. If you like the original, then Plus is totally worth it. Considering the changes only cost about $5 more for the DLC, or $10 more than the original for the physical copy, it's really the next best price to free, given the value of the US dollar, but that's a whole nother discussion. The most exciting part for me is what comes next. How will Sega and lead developer Christian Whitehead capitalize on this momentum and learn from Sonic Mania to craft Sonic Mania 2, which is no doubt already in the works? Find out on the next episode of... Wait a minute. This isn't anime! Thanks for watching Club Chat. If you enjoyed it, give us a like, subscribe, and check out our other video goofs. Bye!